All right, let's talk a little bit about check Revit model. So right now we have a process which is documented on a wiki, and we are currently working on improving it and transferring this list of steps you want to go through to check the model. This is mainly for drafting. So hopefully when it gets to takeoff, we don't have to check it. So what we're gonna do, we developing this tool right now, not me. We have Alan working on it for us, and right now it's just in beta, but it is gonna be accessible for everybody. So it's right here, and it calls Model Checker. This is the tool, and it reflects the same thing what we have on the wiki. The same steps, they just write on the model with the handy tools to check the model. So for us in a takeoff group, if we have time to check the model, we will use the same steps what drafting has. Also, we always talk to the drafter and find out how much time drafter had spent on the model, checking if there are any areas we should be concerned about if something wasn't checked. Also, I think we will be able to see here, it will be shown for us if it was actually checked in the final version of this tool. We can see if those items were addressed, each one of them. For us in a takeoff group, you can see here I already turned on the keys on elevation. And for us, basically, if we don't have time to check the model, just like we start in the metal takeoff right now. We don't have much time to check the model, although we do want to study the model to see what's going on. We turning on the keys. We're just checking it visually. If we, first of all, we just go through the elevations and see if we can spot something. I'm not sure what we have here, but something what caught my eye, particularly here, you can see this is our pony tubes, and they are running short, and they are running a little bit long here. Like little things like this, which we know will affect our metal. We kind of want to fix them before we do the final export of the unit. Another aspect what we check just visually before we get into the model and start actually exporting data from the model, we're trying to fix things like let's say if we have multiple elevations, we're always checking if what's shown here on elevation view, if all the instances are matching to each other. Basically what this is our representation of the main one. So units on elevation 4 need to be in this order: 193, 148, and 182. So the way we do it, we don't do anything fancy. We just first we look on elevations with multiple quantities. This is elevation 4, and we can see here, for example, elevation 4, but on the floor plan instances, some instances of that elevation. So this is the instance we see on a view. But these other instances here, the other 6 instances, you can see the units not matching to this first instance. So this is something we would address with drafter and ask to help us to fix it. We can also look in the deeper and kind of see if we can see the differences, but the things like this need to be fixed before we're starting takeoffs. This is something just a basic check if you have. All right, we'll talk about checking the units a little bit more in next video. I think this is kind of like the visual. If you don't have time to check again, it's just a visual going through the elevation views, looking at this, see if you can spot something odd just in elevation views. Checking your any error messages, if you can see. The very good tool to what exists right now is this Takeoff browser. It's on the Takeoff tab, Takeoff browser, and to reload what's current on the model, you always need to, if you open it first time, you need to click this reload button, and you get the most current information here, all the units, what elevations they're on. So if you're looking for something, and you can also look for specific profiles. It gives you a list here. So it's very handy search tool if you just starting on the model, kind of reviewing the model. You can see here what profile modifiers you have on the model, just the overview of what's going on in the model right now. It will help you to get more familiar with the model. So if you, let's say, if you're looking for this profile, you can just select it. It selects all of them. You can see here what elevation they're on, because right now we're not even looking at the units, we're just looking on the model. And we can search it right here. It will probably find it for us on the floor plan first. And on the floor plan, you can see what page it's kind of happening. It shows you an elevation, and you can just look over here. Elevation 9. Let's say we can just want to look at this instance. And you can see it's highlighting it for us. I didn't change the, excuse me, settings of my highlight because I can see this one very well, but if you kind of, you can see very well your selections, you can always change it in preferences, in the user preferences over here. You can change your selection preferences. All right, we'll talk more about what can you check on the model in the next couple of videos.